Part 3 on how I got my BBL surgically removed because my sit down one was stinking real bad. So I deleted part 1 because there were so many people in the comments talking shit how y'all are doing now. So I deleted part 1 and I made part 2 because there was some people in the comments that wanted to know more. BBL stink, do you hear me? And it's not coming from the or the beehole, it's coming from the incisions that they cut to inject the fluid and the fat in your butt, okay?
Whoa. Wait. First things first, she's back. She's back. I don't know if you guys remember her. This is the same chick I reported on not too long ago with a video that was titled, "The Hospital Fired Me for Exposing Cheating Nurses." Now, I personally was a bit, I think maybe too lenient in that video, right? I was trying to be more balanced. But you guys were like, she's right. They cheat all up in the hospital. It's this, it's that. And I'm like, you know what? You guys are probably right. You guys are probably right. Do I think every nurse cheats? Like I said, not necessarily, but does it happen at an astronomical level? I wouldn't be surprised. Now, they fired her because of that video. If you guys want to show her some support because she recently lost her job after exposing married nurses for cheating with the doctors, you can head over to TikTok. Her Instagram handle is KMontana24, but over here, we're going to call her K Montana, the whistleblower. Right? Because here she is yet again putting another target on her back with this video that's captioned, "BBL, make your sit down wind stink real bad." I should let you guys know the BBLers, their worst nightmare is not just you watching this, but is you hitting that like button. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just letting you know. If you hit that like button, it tells the algorithm something's brewing over here. More people know the truth about BBLs. They don't like it. They're after her. And they don't want this message to get out. Let's keep listening.
Okay? There's people in the comments saying, oh, you wasn't washing up right. Come on, let's be real. It's coming out of the incision. It stink. I don't care what y'all say. It stink. And if it's not healing properly and your body is rejecting it, the hole will remain open and the drainage will continue to come out and stink up your linen, stink up your underwear, stink up everything, okay? Now, my BBL been removed for the past 4 years. Only had it in for about a year.
Right.
Until it was stinking so bad I couldn't take it no more. I don't know if y'all wanted me to get on here and say BBL smell good, but they stink. Stay away from them.
There you guys go. Apparently BBLs smell like shit. And it's finally time to actually start taking this specific point a little bit more seriously. Why? Because this is not the first time I've talked about this at all. I remember talking about this a while back with this video I released that was titled, "Doctor Exposes Why BBL Smells So Bad. IG Models Get Exposed." Do you guys remember this video? People were highly offended. There are a lot of BBL queens in my comment section who were disgusted and probably were mad at this very unnecessary thumbnail title that reads, "They don't wipe the BBL." Okay, that may have been too far, but the message was loud and clear. And it was the same thing I kept on hearing from different people. It's the cuts, it's the excretions or whatever she said. Now, a lot of you may be wondering, well, Chisha, how do you know? Aren't you married? Have you ever dated a chick with the BBL? I haven't. So I can only take personal accounts. And the personal accounts I do hear are that those chicks you see on Instagram and the models you see, some of them might have a stank to them. And to me, that should disgust, just to be a little bit disgusting, right? All I see more and more is that people should just accept the body that God's given them. And I can't believe somebody on my last video tried to compare hair transplants to BBLs. I think they're like high risk, like people actually die from BBLs. Not the same thing. I definitely don't think it's the same thing at all. This is part 2. It reads, part 2 of how that BBL ruined my reputation. My sit down air smelled like a dumpster. Damn.
So this one day, me and my boyfriend, we getting ready, to do something. So first, let me say, my boyfriend at the time did not want me to get the procedure done, but I
What just happened? Let's keep listening.
insisted. Me and my sister went to get the procedure done together.
Right.
And Before I got the procedure done, I joined the group on Facebook. It was like a support group, different women that got it, that's in relationships,
Mm.
just for, to talk about it.
Right, right, right.
So a lot of women in the group was pretty much saying, when you get it, your boyfriend is going to be jealous, so just keep it out on that. So when he was telling me it was smelly down there, I was going to the group saying he's saying it's smelly down there. They was basically telling me to ignore him. He's jealous, but he'll eventually come around.
Sounds like a female group chat. He's just jealous of you.
So me and my sister got the procedure done at the same time.
Right.
So at first, man's was healing up good. It was healing normal.
Uh-huh.
So was my sister's. And I would ask her, is you healing well? She would tell me, yeah. I was healing well maybe the first 6 to 7 weeks. But after that, it kept on leaking and kept on draining. I was asking my sister how hers was doing. She said she was not leaking or draining. Mine's would close up, but then like a day or two later, it would start leaking again. So I used to put gauze and dressings on it to support the leakage while I may have been outside or out and about. So that's why I had it for a year with the leakage, because there would be points that it would close up, or I would think it was closed up fully, but it wasn't.
Right.
So one day me and my boyfriend was about to do something, and he just was like, I cannot take the smell anymore. And he broke up with me and he left. And that was pretty much that. But he
I'm sorry. Kay Montana, you're funny. Right? I'm not laughing at your situation. You're funny. You're funny the way you slid that in there. I thought this was going to be like he brought it up. He finally convinced me and I got it removed. No, he broke up with you? Damn.
he was telling me for months. But me listening to the women in a group thinking they knew what they was talking about, it kind of messed everything up for me. It even got to the point I was wearing jeans in the summertime because it was an embarrassment even looking at it. I'm going to upload the picture right here. So this one day,
Yeah. Now that's a crazy story. She got some of these comments that the people have to say. Top comment here says, girl, you made it to Taja K page. Somebody else here added, they mad because you let us know they walking around with their booty smells. Somebody else here says, that's why they say Cardi B smells. Do they say that? Guys, I think there are a lot of men who, they appreciate natural women. And you might be thinking like, this conversation is not interesting at all. It's a very interesting conversation because it's kind of strange, right? The obsession of having a big booty is so prevalent. And you could say it's like a black culture thing, but I think it's transcended that, right? Hip hop being like a very popular genre, and you see the people online, and they say things move in cycles. There was a time when really large women was really popular. There was a time when really skinny women was really popular. As of now, I think we're still in the era where people look at their butt as like as far as a female body, as the most standout attractive thing, especially amongst black men, right? I actually saw a video about this. It's actually pretty funny, where this guy talks about different races and body parts that they actually find attractive. Very interesting. I say that to say I really do think the media has negatively impacted a lot of young women's minds to go to whatever lengths they need to make sure that they have, a big butt. Let's read a few more comments here. Now, this comment about Cardi B and the smells, I've never heard that before. I guess that's a thing. That's crazy. This person says, when has anyone said that? Anyways, moving on. Somebody else who says, I personally will go against anybody coming for this woman whose courage to tell this the side nobody speaks of. Wow. So this is a hidden truth. Again, they don't want you to hit that like button and get the word out there. Somebody else who says this is insane. I wonder how many women secretly go through this. Nothing is ever what you think it is, man. Nothing's ever what you think it is. I was just listening to somebody who was talking about like TRT, men who get on TRT, and he talked about all these different challenges he goes through, and men who take steroids and men who use TRT. He talked about how he needs to constantly go to a place that has to like take out his blood because it like thickens up due to the medication is on, and he needs a supplier for it consistently, and it's hard to get off it. You can't just stop. You really don't know the reality of everything that you may be admiring. Anything. Anybody's life, right? There are a lot of content creators you may look at, be like, oh man, that person must have it easy. Nobody out here is just having an easy life, especially, this is the part that I want you guys to focus on, if they're taking shortcuts to get there. And you think, oh, I'm just going to do that, and that's going to fix the trouble, instead of doing the hard work. Another person who says, I always knew those BBLs smell funky. LMFA. Oh, here's somebody else who says, I'm sorry you went through this. Thank you for your transparency. It's so informative for other women. So on and so forth.
Y'all see the story time with a lady saying that she had to remove her BBL because her sit down earth stinked? And that's not to be shady, no shade. But she was getting a lot of backlash from a lot of people that got BBLs, and they was just like, you probably ain't know how to wash out. That ain't had nothing to do with washing your ass. I mean, a lot of y'all wanted bigger ass that ain't know how to properly wash that got. So I mean, it could be coming from your and the incisions, but it's not even coming from washing. That'd be just like an additional stench. It's coming from the incisions from the surgery. Everybody's body is not reactive in the same way. If you did do your research, which I hope y'all did, it stated that that's a natural healing process of like fluid discharge, inflammation. It could possibly be a bacterial infection as well.
And ma'am, we need you to change that smoke detector, please. We appreciate the video.
But to sit up there and just be in full-fledged denial, and me personally, I done heard that shit stink. Like that nice, but the smell, you got to think twice.
What?
No shade. So to be clowning her because she came out and told her truth. And my thing is, this was what she said happened with her. She didn't say that all BBLs, you're going to have a stench or it stink. This is what's her story. This is her truth. So y'all even coming up saying something like, oh, you must have didn't wash your. That goes to show that you in denial about your own stench when you sit your down.
Wow. Yeah. What do you guys think? Like, where is your mind right now when it comes to this conversation? We just recently talked about something along the lines of cosmetic surgery. I think, the last video of the chick who got her nose fixed and divorced her husband. I think, and people may misunderstand my stance on a lot of topics. I'm pretty, I try to be, let me say that, balanced. A lot of people probably think I'm extreme, but I try to be balanced. I think most men would be forgiving for small things, right? Small fixes. I really do think that. Just like a lot of women would, while they're like, I would rather you go bald than get like maybe a hair transplant, they're probably cool with it. But the issue comes when you're a man getting fake abs. I'm just sharing with you where I'm assuming most people stand. For men, for example, right? Most men aren't attracted to wifing up a chick who has a BBL. We're here talking about healthy relationships. In most cases, they don't really care about all that. So the women who want this and do this don't really understand what will keep a man. In her situation, right, the whistleblower, who we appreciate, she ended up losing her man because of the sit-down stink. And that's a crazy term. Can we just acknowledge that real quick first? Let's see a few comments here. Top comment said, the smell is caused by necrosis, rotting flesh. What? This shit's getting crazy. It's getting crazier and crazier the more that we go deeper into this subject. Rotting flesh? I've never heard that before. Somebody else responded back with, I couldn't imagine that smell. Is that what it is? Rotting? I don't know. We're going to have to talk to our assistant. AI assistant, barista Miss Coffee. Miss Coffee, I need some clarification on some crazy news I just heard. I'm listening to a lady who's talking about how BBLs smell really bad. Someone just said something that will disturb me. Long before I release this video, And I just want to confirm and make sure this is fake. Might be true. I don't know. She says the smell that comes from some BBLs, because some BBLs apparently smell really bad when they don't heal properly, comes from necrosis. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Rotting flesh. Tell me that's not true. Please.
Yes, love. What you've heard has some truth to it. After a Brazilian butt lift BBL, some individuals may experience an unpleasant odor, often referred to as the BBL smell. This can result from various factors, including fluid discharge from incision sites, challenges in maintaining hygiene post-surgery, bacterial buildup due to sweating, and inadequate post-operative care. In certain cases, if the transferred fat doesn't establish a proper blood supply, it can lead to fat necrosis, the death of fat cells. This condition can produce a foul smell, sometimes described as resembling eye-rotting flesh. While this isn't common, it's a serious complication that requires medical attention. To minimize the risk of such complications, it's crucial to choose a qualified, board-certified surgeon and adhere strictly to all post-operative care instructions. Proper hygiene, regular follow-ups, and prompt attention to any unusual symptoms can significantly reduce the likelihood of experiencing these issues. Remember, love, while these complications are possible, they aren't the norm. Being informed and proactive about your health is the best approach. Always consult with medical professionals regarding any concerns or symptoms you might experience post-surgery.
Now, hold up. I'm not the one with the BBL talking to me about tips. It's not me. That's crazy. Rotting flesh. Yeah, it must be disgusting. A few more comments here. This lady here says, sit down air was crazy. And your body can reject a BBL. Be careful. Wow. Yeah. So guys, keep it in mind, man. You see these chicks and they're on there and trying to show off their bodies, all plastic, all fake. You'll be surprised. You know, you may be utterly disgusted if you were to run into them in person. Moving on. Here we have a viral video of 3 women. It's very, very, very interesting. And if you guys can tell very quickly, you see that you have 3 women and a row of men sitting down comfortably, happily, minding their own business, relaxed. And these chicks posted this saying, actually there's 4, right? Here, let's play this real quick. The reason why I'm not actually playing the sound, guys, is because there is no actual words to it. It's just like music that would probably give this channel a copyright. But they posted this saying, men used to go to war for us, and now we can't even get a man to let us sit down on the train. First of all, what a beautiful sight. What a beautiful sight. I mean, this is just, isn't this beautiful, gentlemen? And some of you may be thinking, why would you applaud this? Oh, because this is what they wanted. It's what they wanted. And I guarantee you guys that one of those men right there is married. One of those men, maybe a couple of those men is actually married or has a girl. And if their girl was standing up, and I'm not talking about the type of girl who thinks that she should never contribute to a bill and doesn't require impossibility from her man. If she was standing up, he would get up for his woman because she does for him the equivalent of what he's willing to do for her. Let me make it very plain and simple here. When are we going to see the end of modern women complaining that men should be getting up from seats? Strictly because they're males. Strictly because they're males. Because it's what men are supposed to do. Here's the problem. For the 100th time that we've addressed this situation with men not giving up their seats anymore, it's simple. What are women expected to do? Strong, independent, feminist women, boss babes in our modern day. What are they expected to do that's of the equivalent of that man giving up his seat? Are women equal to men or are they not? Do they deserve special treatment or are they not? And if they do deserve special treatment, why should they? Well, because they're the weaker vessels, they're feminine, they're fragile. So they're not as strong. no, they are as strong and they still deserve the better treatment. It doesn't make sense. Now, here's what I'm not saying, guys. In this channel, we have nuance, right? So we're going to add some of that in there. If I see an old lady who's struggling, chances are I'll probably get up and give her the seat. But to these youthful young women who probably don't think that they should smile at a man because you don't deserve shit, right? They'll give you what they think you should deserve. There's nothing. They don't even want to smile at you. You literally have chicks out here saying, I don't see any reason to smile at, I'll show you the video. I'll bring it up. Because I think sometimes people think that, oh, bro, you just get on here and make stuff up. This is not real life. It happens. Where is this video? I saw it. And I said to myself, you know what? This video right here is going to come in handy because these are the type of messages that set the tone for men not treating the average woman, the average modern woman here today, like she's somebody who they need to look out for. Check it out. Here we are.
Ladies, when you go outside in public, stop smiling so much. You know, something I learned, and it's sad that I'm saying this, and it sounds even more, but smiling makes you feel like you're weak. And that's crazy, because I'm a smiling, my life is beautiful. Like, I have no reason not to smile. And I learned that smiling actually makes the predatorial or creepy, it makes them feel like, okay, this one is good, we got her. You have to look like you smell shit every minute. If you go outside by yourself, just always have this look. Don't ever, and if a mother come up to you, just look at him and start talking with that look. What do you want? Don't use full sentences. You just say, what? Who you talking to? Oh, okay, bye. That's the best way to stay safe.
And before you dudes are coming here talking about that's only black women, bro, stop. Feminism was, stop. Dudes need to get a grip. Some of you guys are worse. Like top comment right here. I only smile at girlies. It's a white chick. Like, this is the sentiment. This is the energy most men today see online. They go out into this world and they feel it. They feel that. So when it comes to, again, this right here, my question is, he gives up a seat. What does she give up? Doesn't even have to be the equivalent. Name one thing that women should do for a man. Random women. I'll wait. Check out a few of these comments. Top comment here says, it's embarrassing for who? It's embarrassing for you. Somebody else here says, but want a traditional wife like... Here's somebody else who says, feminism killed chivalry. He's right. Another person who says, chivalry is dead and women killed it. He's true. Here's somebody else who says, men aren't men anymore and women are women. So many princesses, disgraceful, no home training. See, the problem is like chicks are literally raising, like single mother households are raising young men to go out into the world and give up their seats to women who are not willing to even smile at them. I'm sort of curious to see if there's any further context from that video she posted here. Where is it? It's this one. No, she had that come right after. No. Okay. Yeah. Just, that was it. But yeah, man, prepare for more. That's all I'm going to say. Prepare for more. And to my men out here, those of you who understand will get it. If you found yourself a good woman who respects you, who you appreciate in your life, who's not one of these modern chicks, the more reason to treat her better, the more reason to treat her well. Moving on.
I just love a man that makes an honest living, okay? 401k benefits me, okay? He works hard and he takes care of his family, okay? He's very family oriented. He's on that grill. That's the type of man I like. It just is what it is. And typically, they be blue collar working men. They do. Like the white collar, cool. We love a man that went to college. We love a man in tech. We love a doctor, lawyer, nurse even. We love that.
Listen up, fellas, listen up. To my blue collar men, to my men, you know, my 9-to-5 guys, but especially the blue collar guys, and don't be in a union. During this harsh time, economic trouble, markets crashing, uncertainty of the future, jobless, single, modern women everywhere. This is when reality is going to strike for a lot of these chicks, and they're going to value you. With that being said, I'm not talking about this woman. I'm saying this right here, you're going to see a lot more of. You're going to see a whole lot more of this. I just recently saw another video. I think this woman right here is probably always, because I saw another video where she said every time she hears women say they would never date a 9-to-5, she keeps quiet. I'll play it after this. But you're going to see more chicks, more and more women who are going to be force-fed coffee by the current economic state and climate, who are going to somehow figure out all of a sudden how to work things out. 50-50. It's going to be like magic. It's going to be like magic.
But them blue collar working men, I don't know, they just hit different. They just hit different. They do. Businessmen love them. You learn a lot from them. But them blue collar working men, they just hit different. I just love a man.
Listen, this also, I'm not going to get into the college discussion because a part of me wants to go that direction, but we're not going to do that. I think we're going to see more chicks out here who are going to be complaining. Of course, we see the women complaining about losing jobs, and men are also going through the same thing. But my goodness, it's going to make a whole lot of sense why this economy isn't set up for single income households very shortly. Let's read a few of these comments. Top comment here says, baby, and don't let him be blue collar and a country boy. Folding, somebody else who says recession indicators. Yo, facts. Somebody responded back. This chick says, this comment got me crying. Even the chicks understand. It's only funny when it has a bit of truth in it. And she thinks it's funny because she's like, There's some truth to that comment. Somebody else who says, made my day. Here's somebody else who says, comment I was looking for. Somebody else here added LMAO. This chick says, white collar men be sassy or think they're better than you. Here's somebody else who says, period. Oh, Jesus Christ. We're going to leave this comment section pretty soon, guys. This chick says, I fumbled him with the crying emojis. She fumbled that blue collar man. Please don't remind me, she says, because she's been struggling ever since. Let's go check out. Oh. Smart girl. Somebody responded back and says, sis, we don't judge. Things happen. Go get your man. This chick says, girl, you better go run through that factory like Helen to get your Orlando back. Get a new one, sis. It's not that easy. We know Jada doesn't know what she's talking about because she thinks you could just go out here and just get a new financially stable man. Here's somebody else that says, them blue collar men used to be in the streets. They know everything. That's actually a pretty honest point right there. Somebody else who says, the real tea is sometimes the blue collar guy will make more money than white collar guy. Yeah, a lot of them do. People don't understand that. Very, very common. And if you're a young man right now thinking about fields that you could go into that would protect and hedge against the advancement of artificial intelligence, jobs in construction are one of the very few, very last to go. I remember listening to somebody talking about who worked very close with AI. And he was talking about just how difficult it is to get AI to understand those very high skill labor jobs. So what does that mean? That means chicks with the sentiment like B. Simone here, who says guys with the 9-to-5, she cannot date. Here, when she was speaking to Nick Cannon, right? They're in for a rude awakening. Do you guys remember this video?
Set me up on a blind date with somebody.
Okay.
But they have to know it's me. I don't want them to be like, get to the date and be like, be Simone.
I got this because they do that to me all the time. So I got the restaurants popping and everything. I'll set it up, have it there, and I'll make sure I'm gonna make sure security is right, so ain't no crazy pulling up on you.
Okay.
Like I will give you. I'm gonna do this. Be Simone.
So I can't know who the guy is, but the guy has to know he's coming on a date with me.
Yes, of course. Now, dude. Now I need to hear the prerequisites.
Here we go.
To hear what do they have to have?
Tall,
a little older. What's the
older?
age?
He can't have a 9 to 5.
What? Why not? You don't want him to have an honest job?
You guys remember this? The internet was lit on fire.
When y'all say y'all don't date 9 to 5ers, I be quiet. My mic is on mute. Blue collar me every time. Yeah, I need him to need a manicure and a massage every time he comes home from work. It needs to be to the point where, take them shoes off at the door. Before you even come into the work shoes sit outside of the door. Take them clothes off as soon as you hit the door. They may even need to hit the washer every night. You got caulk and paint all over you. You got sawdust and stuff. I'm on mute. Every time y'all say y'all don't date 9 to 5ers, I don't got nothing to say. When y'all
She's talking about caulking. She's talking about paint. You can tell that she has experience. And I do know there's a select group of women who actually understand this. I know I'm going to get some guys going to be like, oh, she just wants him because he has a good job. Okay, that's a big part of it. Some of you guys, when I see somebody who's just, no matter what you say, I don't care if you're a man or a woman on my channel, you could say, eat better, be healthier. They're still going to hate on you, bro. Blocked. I just block you. I love to do it. Yes. Oh, yes. Shisha blocks people. Right. When you are a woe is me, there is no hope in this life and world. This is not the channel for you. It's just simply not. But there is a select group of chicks who actually understand this. And it's a well-kept secret. While all these chicks are out here demanding this, demanding that, demanding all this, they understand the benefit of having a hard-working man. Moving on.
When a girl says she wants a guy to yearn for her, that's for the pretty guys, the cute. Yearning is not for the ugly. That's called harassment. You keep begging and pleading and, I just need you, and just salivating at the mouth and shit. That's harassment. When you're cute, that's yearning. That's, working for it. That's being passionate. Sorry, everybody don't get the same terminology. Because, facially challenging shit, sometimes it don't hit the same. It just be like, oh my God, like, what do you see in me that you seem to resonate with? Like, am I ugly? Like, it starts scaring me. You want me so bad. And it's like, I don't even see myself like that with you, but you see something. So it's like, is it me? Am I the problem? Am I the issue? Am I the drama?
So this right here is a great example when men get on podcasts, and especially older dudes who don't understand what guys today go through, right? She said it plain and clear so you could hear it. If you're not cute, it's SA. But if she finds that you're cute, it's not SA. And when guys in male spaces get online and say, the difference between a woman labeling you as a guy who's a creep or not, when you approach her, comes down to whether they find you attractive sometimes. And it's not every single time, right? And it's not an excuse men should use to not learn to approach women if that's what he wants to do, right? I know there's a sector of guys who want me to say men should give up on everything, on life. It's crazy. But the reality is this. In the past, when a woman thought you were unattractive, I remember us approaching women at the mall, at the park, hanging out with your boys, riding bikes. The worst that could happen is her just say she's not attracted to you. And she's like, okay, I'm not feeling him. Cool. But this new layer of it's harassment changes things. That's a scary thing for a young man. And it takes a while for you to build that confidence as a young man to become almost bulletproof to rejection. Right? Guys who are good at approaching women are just guys who have learned to not take rejection seriously. They understand that they're going to get a bunch of no's, and eventually there will be a chick that will say yes. And they're willing to take on rejection as many times as possible to get that final yes. It's really all that it is. However, I do think there's this new element of harassment that a lot of young guys today are privy to. And in turn, they aren't so encouraged to approach women. Not to mention, we have a young woman, she's a woman here, and also a single mother, who's talking about herself like, oh, I only want cute dudes approaching me. If you're ugly, stay away. When we all know that where a man may lack in looks, is it not? And men aren't supposed to be the prettier gender, right? But where a man lacks in looks, he can make up in game. He can make up in his humor, right? He can make up in other attributes. It's what men do. When I look back and see the dudes that pulled the most chicks, they weren't the most aesthetically pleasing guys. No, there were dudes who knew how to start conversations with the woman, make her feel comfortable, whether that was by laughing or just connect emotionally, right? He's breaking touch barriers. Next thing you know, he's raised her interest. And from then, you just literally, before your eyes, you see guys at work increasing that tension, and attraction, sexual attraction as well. And it wasn't always the guy who chicks would immediately call out and say, oh, that's the most attractive dude. I think the whole message of, if you're not cute, you're approaching me and DMing me or shooting your shot, is harassment. It's just a very dangerous thing to start putting in young men's minds, because most people are average. Do you want your young men to have the confidence as they get older to approach women? Or not? Right? Or do you want to villainize them because they're not pretty like girls? I swear a lot of these people just want to turn men into women.
So that's the difference. When you cute and you know you cute, that's called yearning. That's what I want. Come with the cute shit. When you ugly, no, you don't gotta yearn for me. Once I say I'm okay, that's it. You don't gotta keep on, making songs and this and that and the third, because, I'm not easy, but I be going. Like, I'm not gonna lie, but like, if I ain't going, you just not that him.
And like, sometimes I'll try to go on someone's, like if they release a video, I'll go see if they release like a follow-up video that adds more context. But every single video I'm looking at this chick, I'm like, yo, I don't think women understand the privilege of being able to put makeup on your face. I don't think they really understand. And they don't understand that men can't do that. They don't understand that the makeup is not you. The humility you'd see from a lot of chicks out here, if they walked around with no makeup, would be crazy.
Not only did, Trump and his administration and Doge propose a bill to, cut SNAP benefits and Medicaid and government assistance, it's already happening.
Yeah. I couldn't find any other video with more context. Let's read a few comments underneath this video. Top comment here says, no, because ugly men liking me immediately pisses me off. Anyways, let's keep going. Somebody else responded back to that and said, I feel evil because I understand you perfectly. So they get angry when an ugly man, the man they think is ugly, likes him or approaches them. And then they'll complain about men not approaching them. Here's somebody else who says, louder for the scary ones in the back. This is beyond hilarious. Here's somebody else who says, exactly like we want Michael B. Jordan, not Shamik Moore. Who's this guy? Oh, I know who this is. This is the voice for the Spider-Man series. Caught a straight stray. Okay, I see. Yeah, I get why they used that. Kind of funny. Somebody responded back and said, what did Shamik do to you? He cute. Okay. Here's somebody else who says, like you're bothering me. Here's somebody else who added, it ain't yearning, it's insulting. Here's somebody else who says, you said it perfectly. Somebody else here added, did you say facially challenged? Yeah, she's calling people facially challenged out here. Somebody else here added, facially challenged sent me. Here's another person who says, I thought we all knew this. Another person here added, yearning is only yearning when it's wanted on both sides. If it's just one-sided, it's not yearning, it's annoyance. Somebody else who says, it's only yearning if she wants you back too. Yeah. Here's the thing. You have a lot of chicks and who are in her position, young single mom. The women who understand that like my time is short, I shouldn't be as picky as I am being, they will eventually find what they're looking for. I do believe that. However, the arrogant chicks who sit down regardless of who they gave their womb to, so on and so forth, will end up drinking a bitter cup of coffee.
I just want to point out to you, Snaggletooth, some who decided that in the comments of one of my videos where I was praising my husband for being a good man, where you guys were like, you're obsessed with him. You should really figure out how to not be around him like that because it's good to be independent. You don't even have a man. So if I want to be a husband's girl, because that's what I am, I'm all about my man, my man, my man. Do you understand? Then I'm going to do that. If I decide to get up on here and praise him because he decided to take care of me the way that God sees fit, then I will. And you sorry, miserable can suck my cheeks from left to right and then in a circle and then
Let her brew.
after, matter of fact, you can kiss my ways to Sunday and twice on a Monday.
Wow.
All right? Because at the end of the day, I don't understand for the life of me what type of miserable you have to be to decide to go to somebody's video where they are happily married to a person who loves them and then spew such hatred and vitriol. It makes 0% of all sense to me. So, I'm going to go back in and kiss up and love up on my husband because I have a man. Have a day.
All right, so she is obviously responding back to some cat ladies who were upset because she showed praise to her man. We're going to play that video next. And I want to be very clear that I definitely do understand that this happens on both ends. There are men out here who, even if they see a man who actually has a good woman, they just can't stand it. They're like, it's only a matter of time till everything's destroyed. And, you know, it's ridiculous because they'll be the same people who will look at women who say there's no such thing as a good man and say, oh, you're wrong for saying that, but they take the extreme on the other side. If you're in an actual healthy relationship, it is a dangerous thing for you to get online and share that with people because there are a lot of people who hate on you for that, secretly praying for your downfall because maybe what they had didn't work out or, you know, misery loves company. And so I definitely do see this more on TikTok as far as if you are a wife, you can't go on there and praise your husband without experiencing a lot of hate. Let's read a few of these comments, see what the people have to say. The men genuinely appreciate it. They generally do. Top commenter says, I always say single women keep each other single. Okay, somebody else here added, protect this woman at all costs. Somebody else who says, this app is full of bitter, man-hating misandrists. And somebody else who says, they are lonely and jealous. There is a huge amount of misandrist on TikTok, way more than any other app. Somebody else who says, sis, listen up and listen well. I assume your husband is a black man. And if this is the case, that's why you got all the pushback. Because if he wasn't black, there would be nothing but praise. That's not true. It's not true, right? She responded back here and said, everyone in my household's black, even the dog. I don't think that's true. All right. People like to think that like feminism and this whole thing exists only in the black community. And it's just, I'm like, where are you people? Like, do you guys see what the other channels are talking about? It's the same thing. I've reported on numerous videos of different women, regardless of race, who've cooked for their husbands. Same thing, hate, showing appreciation. Literally, you guys can probably think of videos right now. Somebody else who says it's always the single ones. Here's somebody else who says they're mad that you love your husband. Odd behavior. Somebody else who says praise him, girl. I do the same. God is good. Here's somebody else who says amen. I'm 1,000,000,000% a husband's girl. Yeah. So this is the video that she actually posted where she was praising her husband. I can't play this because there is copyright music. So we're just going to have Miss Coffee summarize what exactly she's talking about here so we can avoid that hurdle. Miss Coffee, what exactly is this woman saying here in this video?
So this woman, minding her own business on Book Talk, gets on camera and does something revolutionary for the internet in 2025. She praises her husband.
Oh,
yep,
no.
That's it. That's the whole crime. That's the villain origin story. She says, I'm going to do something most women don't do, praise my husband. And I leaned in like, go ahead, sis. She breaks it down. Her man works 90 hours a week. 90, not 19, not 9 to 5, 90. Pays every bill. Shows up when she needs him. Loves her the right way. You know that's loaded because some of y'all don't even get loved the basic way. And while she's over here just trying to enjoy her books like a peaceful, candle-craving book babe, what does this man do? He pays attention. She casually mentions wanting candles and book talk vibes, so what does he do? He gets her a tablet, a case, a pop socket, a book by her favorite author. Now you may be saying T-Net's just the bare minimum, but that's where she checks y'all real smooth. Y'all may see it as bare minimum, but I see it as him paying attention. Boom. Perspective. Because it's not about luxury.
Right.
It's about intention. It's about being heard. And this man heard her. She closes it with that humble flex. Sinai got a good one. Y'all have a day. Mic dropped. Husband loved. Internet mad. Miss Coffee's take? This woman wasn't bragging. She was grateful.
Right.
And some of y'all hate seeing women happy because you equate love with struggle. Let this woman enjoy her pop socket and her man. She's not looking down on you. She's just looking across the table at someone who actually shows up. Cheers to the good ones. May we keep them, praise them, and protect them from the comment section.
All right. Thank you, Miss Coffee. Yes. Let's see a few comments here. So this comment says, that's stupid. I was raised on 50-50, not 100. I'm assuming that she found somebody who's willing to pay all her bills. And, it's when it comes to like the 50-50 conversation, you're blessed if you have a man who's willing to do that. I don't hate on people who have a situation and the privilege. The problem that I have is that every chick out there thinks that's what every man should do, which is just, it's delusion. Somebody else who says, this is how you love your partner. Here's somebody else who says, I don't see it as bare minimum. This is someone who takes notice and wants to see you smile. You are correct in saying you got a good one. Somebody else who says, love that. Somebody else who says, you get that on Amazon. So I guess they want the same thing. Yup. Yeah. It looks like she probably blocked a bunch of negative comments here. Yeah, man. Content is content. You get out here, you create content. You're never going to see any type of growth or visibility without the hate. It comes on top of it. You just got to accept it. And the sooner you can serve coffee, speak that truth, the more you can deal with the hate and people that disagree with you. Life moves on. Guys, I appreciate you checking out yet another episode of the Coffee Pod. Of course, I'm curious to know, what do you think? Leave your thoughts, comments down below. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.